Hello and welcome back to the Cardi Foundation. Today we're going to be adding another feature into our Power App where we'll be using the status column from our SharePoint table and adding it into the gallery feature. So if I share my screen here, I'm going to show you the SharePoint table that we have, which is our grants table. And you can see right at the end we've got a status field that shows 4 different types of status. So when the grant comes in, it'll automatically be requested, so they've requested the grant, and then the people that are reviewing the grants, they can change it to in review if they're currently reviewing it, or if they've rewarded it, they can change it to rewarded or decline it if they don't get the grant. So we're going to be adding this into our gallery feature. So I'm going to open up my Power App once again. So go to Power Apps, and your app will be in your team. So to get there, you go to Build, and then you'd find your team on here. I'm in the ALP skill-based program team. I'm going to go to see all so I can see everything, and I want to find my apps, and my apps should be down here. So mine's this one for template app. You'll see an app that looks like that, so click on that, and then we're in our app here. Just let that load. So at the moment we have a gallery, a display form, and an edit form. And we also have a splash screen as well. So we've got a couple of different functionalities, but we're going to be working on the main grant screen once again. So what I want to do, I want to add another field in this box. So I'm going to actually get this box and make sure I select the whole thing. I'm going to pull it down a bit so I can have more fields. I'll push, actually I'll leave that there. I'll push this one a bit up, push that a bit up like that. And then I want to add another text field in here. So I'm going to go to Insert and Label. I'm going to pop that in there. And you can see that updates it for everything, which is quite good. I'm going to pull over there. The text, I might make it a bit bigger. Try 13. Yeah, that looks good. And the text, we want it to be the status. So we're actually not going to change, we're going to change this so we want the status. So we're going to do this item dot status. See, it comes up, I'll click that. And it's still coming up with an error as it's a choice column. So you want the actual value of what they've picked. So we're going to do dot value. That, and you can see that comes up now. So now it says whatever their status is. So I don't think I've added the status on here, so it won't come up. Oh, it's at the bottom. Might move this to the top so you can see it much more clearly. But yeah, so we got for each record, we've got whether it's like requested, you can see one's in review there, a rewarded one. So what I want to do, I want to add something where it changes the color of the text depending on what it is. So you can see now it's all black, it's a bit boring, and we want it to stand out. Say if it's been declined, then maybe we can have a function to delete it as it's not needed anymore. So obviously we're changing the color. So on the formula bar here, I'm going to go to color, and we're going to use something called an if statement. So if you've done programming before, you've heard of if statements. So it's quite simple. So an if statement opens with an if, and it says if it's this value, then do this. If not, do something else. And we can actually extend that to add multiple ifs. So for example, if it's requested, turn the text blue. If it's in review, turn the text yellow. If it's rewarded, turn the text green. And if it's declined, turn the text red. And maybe if it's not all of that, then we'll just turn it black, keep it black. But the value will always be a choice. So now we just need to add that into our formula bar. So I'm going to open an if statement with an if. So it always starts with an if. So if, and you can see it's there, and I'm going to open a bracket. And then now we need to choose what we're actually dealing with. So obviously we're going to use this item again, and we get the status. So it's the same as before, this item dot status dot value. And then we're adding an equals. So if it's equals to, so we'll start with requested. So make sure you add speech marks here. And I'm going to type in exactly what it says here. If it's any different, it won't work. If it's requested, close my speech marks. And then we want a comma. Actually, what we need to do is use double speech marks here. I forgot to add double speech marks. Like that. There we go. So it comes up in red if it's text. And it kind of tells you what to do. So if the test, then you add a comma. So this is our test. If it's requested, then you add whatever's going to be true, and then it'll tell you what's next. If it's true, Then we want to change the color text. We'll put requested as blue for now. Then we're going to write, so color, it's the American version, so no U, color dot, and then you can just try and find a color. So I think I'll choose a light blue. And then it's asking what do we want next. So we want another if statement to test if it's in review. So add another comma, and then we'll add, so if this item dot status dot value is equal to, so we need our open speech marks in review, make sure it's the exact same as there. And then what do we want to do with this one? We'll change the text, we'll do it yellow. So color again, dot yellow. So yellow. And then, so what you would do now is add two more. So one for review, one for rewarded, one for declined. Just the exact same as this. I'm not going to show you how to do that as I don't want to make it too easy for you. So, and then finally, once you've added those two, you'll finish with an else statement. So an else is what happens if none of those tests are true. So you can see at the end, it's an else value, provides a result when all the conditions are false. So if that's false, then it'll do whatever's here. So I'm just going to keep it as black. But obviously it's a choice, so it can never be not one of them features. And then we'll just close our brackets. And you can see that it's actually started to work. I probably haven't picked the best colours as they don't stand out quite as much. But if I play that, you can see that we've got requested and in review. I haven't done rewarded and declined, that's why they're coming up in black. As is said in the if statement, if it's not any of them values, then I'll turn it black. But all you need to do is add two more if statements where it does it if it's rewarded or declined, and you've got a nice feature in there that just kind of stands out and you can see which one's which. You can maybe even add the function to do the fill of the back, maybe change the color of the whole background into like a light green or something, so you can easily tell, and it makes it easier for the user when dealing with the grants. So thank you for watching and goodbye.